Hello Ria Cole. Today we're going to be discussing what has been going on in my writing with the neighbours arguing for extra ASMR. I've been kind of writing but not really, because I've been writing a lot of poetry for the past month because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, slay. But with my actual like a novel that I'm writing, I have not written it for like, well, I did write it yesterday, but like for ignoring yesterday for like the whole month, I don't think I've written that much at all. And the reason why is because, number one, I was just going through a really trash time in general with life. Like, I'm not trying to be those people that make excuses and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't do anything but like generally I could not do anything, like trust. So like I could not do anything else either, so that's why I was not writing. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is because I feel forced to write. Whereas if I just end up writing based off the vibes and writing for joy, which is what I used to do, that's how I actually ended up finishing like my first book, which is really bad. And like what even happened in that, I don't even know. But we don't talk about that. But yeah, so I was like, because the thing is with the current book I'm writing is it's a very ambitious. There's like too much going on. I'm like, what is actually going on? Because it's too much. It is overflowing and there's so much like complex stuff with each of the thing, and I'm like, this is a really good idea. Well, it is a really good idea because it's fun, but I feel like I've been stressing myself out too much, because I know people are like, oh my gosh, professional author slay, you have to write 10k words, a million words a day, and you also have to have your day job, and you also have to do everything. And I'm like, whatever, I just like write for the fun vibes. Like obviously, I don't know, maybe start writing, like because like today, like right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to write. I also want to film, but like I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to write. You know how I used to when I was younger. So if I just embrace that, because I feel like that will help the creative flow more, because it is really fun. I love my characters, they're all my children, I love my world, it's so creative and beautiful, slay. So, and now because I feel slightly better, I'm like, wow, I want to write because it's very fun and very creative. Because I feel like even though like you want to get a certain project finished, and obviously you have my videos of me screaming at you to finish it because like you might be doing other stuff that you don't find fun. Like I don't know, like you know how people are like, oh my gosh, I used to read 1 million books a day and now I don't because I waste my time on like social media or something dumb like that. Then stop doing that. Obviously that's a bit dumb. Like what are you doing? Like you're doing something you like less than something you like more, but you're still doing that anyway. Like that is giving low brain cell activity. But if you're like reading a book and you're like like maybe just read a different book. But then if you're reading the book and then you're liking the book, then you'll just like consciously pick up the book for fun. And that's like what I'm gonna start doing now. But then obviously if you go through an extremely bad time, I don't think you're gonna be able to read unless you're reading for emotional support. So that's what I was doing more with the poetry, since I don't know, my book is really big and complex now. Like when I was originally writing it, I could write it for emotional support, but now I'm in the editing stage. I was like, what's even going on? Right now with the editing stage, also this video is just gonna be me screaming at a camera. I don't even know, like also why am I doing this, we don't know, but like yeah, this video is literally that. So what happened is, now what's actually happening in the book is I'm sorting out what is going on with the romance, because we have this character, right, and then there was like a potential romance with this character and a potential romance with this character, and originally these two together were together, right, and I was like, actually, so if everyone hates me for that, then love that. But then I asked all my friends who do ship, and a lot of them, well, it's quite split. Like, because I think, okay, no. Before, it was this. But then me and my friends have changed our minds for some reason. Or like, maybe it's just because I asked different people. I don't know. But you know what? We'll see. There's already a fandom war, shipping war, and the book hasn't even started. And there's no love triangle. It's just me being indecisive. But because in the original, like I've got the entire book written, I'm just editing all the issues. The thing is, my list of issues is massive, so like that's why it's like, oh my gosh, she's overflowing with issues. Right now I have the list here, and it's like, okay, no, I have the list of issues. It's called proper actual issues with my book, and it's like organized, right? So I've already handled, luckily, like it's separated into major issues, kind of deep, and then thorny issues, right? So like and then I'm handling the massive issues first. I've already done major, and then right now I'm on kind of deep. and then I still have Air and Tori Tori. So with Kind of Deep, I've done half of Kind of Deep. But to be honest, when I get to the smaller ones, it should be quicker. So it's probably like, oh my god, bro, you did something really stupid. Or when I change something major, the like smaller ones just changed anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, so let's see what I have left on Kind of Deep. We have sort out the whole romance thing. Oh yeah, because what I was saying, right, is with the romance, I was, oh my god, what are people doing outside? I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't involve any romance in the first book, apart from when there's like a few, like 2 scenes with these two, and now they're not together. So I'm like, jump scare, what is this? No. And they're like, ew. So yeah, maybe it's a sign, like, I can't remember who represents who. Maybe it's a sign these two are like the slayest ones, since when I literally read a sign of these, the scene of these two being romantic, I went, ew. It could have just been at my own writing of like Riz, I don't know. But yeah, so sort out the whole romance thing. Then we have establish Sahana's healers more in every scene. More plot twists and subversions of expectations. More like culture. Research this more. Research that more. Something about a specific scene. Write the scenes and insert scene. Yeah, sometimes I get too lazy because basically I have like 2 different drafts, and then I sometimes like I'm like the scene doesn't like really need to be changed, so I just wrote insert scene and I didn't insert it from the other draft, so it's a bit of a mess. Like I feel like when I get everything on edits done, this is just like the like revisionary edits, so like with the plot and stuff, then it's like, okay, now I need to actually make it sound coherent and not a mess, but like the actual plot and all that and like everything makes sense in the like story wise. It's just a reading wise, you could be like, what is she doing, you know? Also we have make scenes from the 2 drafts flow together, put one character's background story in, and then just do something else. Yeah, to be honest, it's not even that deep. And then and Tori Tori is literally just like change one thing. So I feel like editing is actually gonna be fast and slay. Yay. I feel like people are like, oh no, I hate editing. Editing is evil. So all you have to do is gaslight yourself into thinking you're having fun. Well, it is fun because right now I'm sorting out the romance and I'm like, this is wholesome. And then if I'm doing a part that's kind of not wholesome, like, I don't know, make sure the 2 drafts flow together well, I'll just be like, gaslight. You know, you have to gaslight yourself for the book. Because writing is about joy, and I feel like I'm not going to force myself too much to be like, I have to do this and this is for the book. And like I feel like you should focus less on like goal-based goals, like English is not Englishing. You should focus less on outcome-based goals than like, I don't know, for example, writing a book. Or you should actually focus on the goal of becoming a writer and enjoying writing, right? So it's like identity-based goals. So instead of being like, oh my gosh, my goal is to write a book. No, my goal is to be a writer, you know? It's different. Because if you're just focusing on finishing the book, it's not going to be fun. Whereas if you're a writer, you're just enjoying the process. And I'm trying not to worry about when I'm going to finish it. Because when I have done that, I just end up burning myself out and then not writing for ages, which has been a common theme. Whereas with previous projects, I've literally been able to finish it because I was just doing it based on vibes, except those previous projects weren't ambitious like this one is. It's just those previous projects were atrocious. If anyone wants a video of me reading my old book and screenplays, please let me know because they are awful and I need to curse you guys with them as well. But yeah, and then when I finished this list, which is actually easy because I was like, oh my god, it's so overwhelming because it's a list, but now I've actually read it, I'm like, this is not that deep. Like, so when I finish the list, then all I have to do is make it not sound atrocious, and then all I have to do is force all my friends, like through blackmail to the ones that aren't interested in reading it, to read it. And yeah, the reason why my book hasn't been finished now is just because I haven't been writing it. But I still have been writing anyways, so it's fine. Like, I've been writing slay poetry. I'm in my poetry era. But like before this video, the video I wrote, like, about how to write slay characters really good. Do recommend. That's like the video I uploaded before this. I did start writing poetry, but before that I didn't, but now I did. So slay, beginner poetry, slay. It's really fun, it's really creative, and like that's what writing is about. It's for joy and creativity, because if you're not enjoying it, then why are you even doing it? So try to not, I'm gonna try, you should try to not stress yourself out. Oh yeah, so then if I do end up having another mental breakdown, I won't be like, oh, I'm too stressed to not write. I'll be like, oh my gosh, writing is, I'm just gonna do for the fun vibes anyway, because I'm not stressed, I'm just doing it for fun. Exactly. And then I know, like, in some of my previous videos I was like, if you force yourself to do it, which is like true, because like if you haven't written for ages, you force yourself, what you're doing. But like still forcing yourself to write, as opposed to writing out of joy and love for your book, right? As you should, that is good. But I was like, if you do that, then it will get formed as a habit. But then also, if you do write for joy as well, then you'll just like feel the joy and write more. But I do think you should also force yourself, because sometimes you might be like, I want to do something stupid instead of writing, and waste your time. Whereas if you actually wrote and get started, then you're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Kind of the example I gave earlier with how people are like, I used to read so much and now I don't read. And then if you look at what you're doing instead, it might be why. Because you need to prioritize, because your brain is more emotional than logical. And I feel like you should obviously listen to your emotions, but you still have a sort of short-term animalistic brain. So if you have some like trash goal that you're not going to enjoy or reading, you might feel inclined to be like, oh my gosh, I want to try the trash goal, when really, you know, logically it would be better for you to read because you actually like reading. And then honestly, once you start reading, and if the book is good, then you just carry on reading. So it's the same with this. Once you start writing, like in this case, the writing is really fun, I'm just going to carry on. And then sometimes I just have like, I don't know, just stop. But then at least this time when I stopped, I was still being productive anyway, so it doesn't matter, because I was still writing poetry. Whereas before, when I stopped, I just wouldn't be creative at all, because I burnt myself out. Whereas this time I was still being creative, just in a different way. So I feel like now I'm gonna start writing my book and write poetry. To be honest, I feel like I'm not gonna write, like, okay, poetry and like writing my book, yes, but I'm not gonna write another book at the same time. Like, I know some people do that, slay, really cool. It's honestly your choice, because like everyone's different. But for me, I would just like put one book before the other book, or it'll be too overwhelming, especially that this book is so complex. It'll be like too much to deal with and I will be stressed out. So it's just better if I actually stick to this book, especially that I feel like I've poured so much time into it as well, and I actually generally am so passionate about it. Even though I am passionate about my other book ideas, those can come afterwards, because I'm so close to finishing this. I know I literally said don't focus on the goal, I mean the like outcome based goal, but identity based goal. But it's more that I actually know logically I should carry on writing, because it's very fun. So that is basically what's been going on with my current writing. So basically, have I been unproductive? Who knows? Because I haven't been writing my book, but I have been writing poetry, so I'm still like every single day. So so technically Ria is writing, but Ria is not writing her fiction. Ria is writing poetry, which is still productive. Because honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna publish my book or not. I generally don't know. I think it's really, really good, and everyone needs to be blessed. But also, who knows? We'll see. So yeah, that is true. So instead of being like, wow, I need to write this book so I can publish it and be, also this is just for me. If you want to write a book and you know you want to publish it and you need to force yourself every day to be productive, do that. And also if you're just writing for joy and you should force yourself, not every day, but like force yourself to do it consistently. Consistency is key, because like you're obviously like writing it anyway, so you are doing it for the joy. But if you consistently do it, then that is what will reap the rewards anyways. Like, even if you're writing intuitively, you're still writing consistently. You're just doing it based off the vibes, and then those vibes have built a habit, and then you're just doing it based off the vibes, you know. So yeah, but what I was saying is I'm not gonna put a lot of pressure on myself with this, because I'm already have a lot of pressure anyways, and I don't know, I generally don't know if I want to publish it or not. Like, I don't know, you know? So if I had, like, I could just show it to, I know everyone in the comments is like, Rhea, I want to read your book, but I don't know. If I was like, I 100% want to publish this, yes, put on the pressure, but I don't know if I want to publish it, and I'm just writing it for the vibe. So technically, me doing that and me doing poetry is on the same level of like equality, productivity, and I don't want to like feel guilty for not writing my book and writing something else, even though I'm personally making the choice to not write any I was screaming just in case you couldn't hear me. I'm personally making the choice to not write any other fiction currently, because it's too much for my brain to process. But after I finish writing this book, I will move on to other books. But I think this is such a healthier way to approach it, because for me, like, obviously if you're writing the book and being like, I want to publish this, I am writing this for the goal of publishing it, and also to be a writer, and also because I'm really passionate about it and love it. Whereas for me, I'm writing this because it's fun and a slay story and I want to finish it. I honestly don't know if I want to publish it or not. If it's slay, I'll publish it. If not, I'll just have a slay book, you know? And maybe 10 years later, I might make a video of me reacting to it, like me with my old books, except those books are atrocious. Me 10 years later will still be like, this book is so good, go off, you know? So I think it's very good to not, like, also, you know, balance, okay? Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Thanos, dictator king, genocidal king, you know? So, genocide bad, but still, yeah, you know? What's trying to happen is there's equality, there's a balance, you know, equity. I know what equity doesn't mean that, like, it's because you need to have equal balance of joy, but then also just forcing yourself to do it, so you're not spending all day, like, I don't know, on TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. I don't know why I keep on using TikTok as an example instead of anything else. Like, let me try to think. Oh yeah, what I did for like the past month is just lie in my bed. Oh my god, technically I have been writing. I've been writing in my diary or like journal. I don't know. Okay, no, it's really pretentious of me to call the notes app a diary slash journal. I've just been screaming in the notes app, like, angrily, and when I get, and also writing good, okay, I've been writing creative poetry, like 50-50 split. I've been writing creative poetry, and I've also been writing angry poetry. So the creative poetry and angry poetry both slay, but I am beginning. I don't intend to read any of that to you. Like, honestly, I feel like I should read something to the real cult, because I have told you about my characters and wilder stuff. But as I told you, I'm new to writing poetry and I don't feel comfortable sharing it on a platform yet. And with my book, the story is going hard, it's storying, but I literally said I need to fix the entire thing. So maybe I can pick out quotes and read it in a video if you want, but right now the words are not wording. The story is storying, but the words are not wording, you know? So that is what's currently going on in the book. But yeah, balance, right? Because you should be like, wow, I need to write because I like writing and it's good for myself to write. But you should also be like, I'm writing for the joy, I'm writing for the love, I'm writing because it's something I genuinely care about and it's one of my hobbies. It's just better to see it as something as a hobby, something that you do, you know, rather than putting a lot of pressure on yourself, because you'll just end up stressing yourself out. Even though you should be ambitious and determined to achieve your goals, but your goal should be of being a writer and hence writing your book, not the goal of, I need to publish this book, I need to get it done, because then you'll just end up stressing yourself out. It's like in school. In school, you want to work hard because you're generally passionate about education, not because you're like, I need to get an A star, I need to get an A star. You'll stress yourself out. That's a bad example, because that's literally what I did, but I still got slay grades, kind of. I don't know, my school gave me really low grades and then from predicted, and then I got way higher than them. So thank you for that, secondary school trash. But yeah, oh yeah, and then what I was saying is technically I've actually been an insanely productive writer, because I've been writing lots of poetry, creative poetry, and also because before filming this I was like, oh no, I have to tell the real cult I was being unproductive because I was only writing a bit of my book. But to be honest, I have been thinking of my characters, I love them very dearly, but I was also writing poetry creative poetry, and all poetry is creative, but like I don't know, like story poetry, creative poetry, vibey poetry, and then also just angry sad poetry as well, like 50-50 split. But the true writing I've been doing is angrily screaming in the notes app. I feel like when I'm like going off in notes app, I will either write in all capitals and scream, or I will write really elegantly for some reason. Like, I will just sound very pretentious in the notes app and like use the longest words and be like, the obvious disrespect. Oh my gosh, I should make a video and be like, Ria's writing, let's read some quotes of the notes app. It's actually really funny. And then I had to write some message to someone, and then I made like 5 drafts of that, and then I was reading quotes to my friend of the first draft, and it was so bad. But yeah, so technically I have been writing, just like not my book. And to be honest, so that does count as productive, because I don't know if I'm gonna publish my book, but I've been writing other stuff, other projects anyways. Okay, no, obviously not the notes app and message, but like the poetry and like stuff like that, you know? So I have been productive, because yeah, before starting the video, I was like, oh my god, I have to tell the real Cole I did nothing for an entire month when I literally make videos screaming at people to write every day. Also, I need to stop saying write every day. Write consistently, whatever that means for you. For me, it's to write something every day. Because technically, I have been writing poetry every day because I just find it really fun. And obviously not every single day, but like, you get what I'm saying. So technically, I have been writing. Because if I relieved this pressure, because I don't even know, like, I'm not saying this to like gaslight myself. I generally don't know if I'm going to publish my book or not, or just have it for the vibes. Like, my friends will be the fandom. And you know what? Maybe I could just publish it online, because the real cult, like, you guys are screaming at me to publish it. And like, you want to see the content. So like, because obviously I've made videos about like what's happening in the book, because I can't really give you guys quotes because the writing is in shambles, but I've told you about the characters and the stories, and you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, this is so slick. So I could either A, publish it, B, post it online for the Ria cult to read, C, only show it to my friends and gatekeep from the Ria cult, which I probably won't do because you guys deserve to see this content, and then you all can be the fandom. Who knows, we will see what I end up doing. But I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. But like, it's pressure if I'm like, oh, I have to publish this. Especially if I don't know, like with publishing, it's kind of confusing. Like, obviously I could self-publish it. But if I'm doing traditional publishing, I don't even know. Let's say if I did choose to publish it, I could be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this book. And it's not fitting the market. So I have to change it. That's going to be really stressful to think about now. So I'm just going to take that pressure off and just be like, I can write poetry, which I know I'm not going to publish any poetry I'm currently writing right now. And then I can also write my book, and both those things are equally as productive, so I don't even need to stress about being productive, since this is just something I like to do, and then that would be better for me. So yeah, this has basically been me screaming about what's going on with my writing, so I'm gonna stop filming now to either write or film another video. So bye, thank you for watching.